Have you ever felt like your dreams are out of reach? You can make them happen, and the answer to how is sitting right in front of you. We all can feel stuck sometimes, but if you follow the framework in this video, you can fundamentally change the trajectory for your life. And so the 4 things you need to know are the end of history problem, the spotlight effect, who are you anyway, and choose adventure. And so it's 2007. It's my 3rd year of university, and I had the chance to do my university work experience in Hong Kong. And I jumped at the chance. And so I stayed there for a year and worked extremely hard, learning the local language, which is Cantonese, having had 0 conversational ability. And it was this experience that really changed me. And for any ESL speakers, you already know this, but I'd never had the experience before of not knowing the local language. And what I found out when I was learning Cantonese was that when you're learning a language and you can't speak it, you actually end up losing a part of yourself. You know, I like to think in English, I'm funny and articulate and able to express myself. I mean, at least I think that. But learning Cantonese, I was none of those things. And when you look Chinese like I do, and you can't speak the language, people just think you're dumb. And this was all really hard. But I ended up persevering, and I was able to learn the language. And for me, that was really significant. But I also really began to appreciate what it meant for me to be able to grow up in Canada, what was sacrificed for me to be able to have a life here. And it was in that moment that a quiet dream began to take root. A dream so delicate that I could barely say it out loud. A dream to honor my family's sacrifice for me by leading the family business. Fast forward 10 years. After 10 years of working in my family business in real estate development, I'm pretty good at my job. I'm paid pretty well, I know the industry, and I'm well respected by peers and colleagues, I think. And my life was pointed towards that dream of one day leading my family business, but something was off. My idea of how I should feel was somehow so different than how I actually felt. I felt stuck, and that's the end of history problem, which is that we know how much we've changed in the past, but we don't think we're going to change in the future. That dream to lead my family business, I thought it couldn't change, but I had changed. And so while that dream wasn't bad, it just wasn't for me anymore. And I realized this just wasn't what I wanted to do with my life. And once you realize that, the problem should be easy, right? Wrong. Which is why you need to know the next thing, the spotlight effect, which is that sometimes we're our own worst enemy. I know that was the case for me. I was getting paid well. I knew the industry well and knew what I was talking about. I had the respect of my peers and colleagues. Stepping away from that was not only to step into the unknown, it was a huge step backwards. And so if I wanted to change my life, I was basically going to have to lose everything that I'd worked for. And that's the biggest hurdle I had to overcome, the spotlight effect, which is that we always think other people are paying way more attention to us than they actually are. And that's exactly what I was doing. Everything running through my mind was, what will everyone think? How will they react? What if I'm not good at this new thing? And I was overwhelmed with self-doubt and uncertainty. It's hard. I know. And that's why you need to know the answer to this next thing, which is, who are you anyway? When I look back in the 10 years I worked in real estate development, the most exciting thing for me wasn't the best land deal. It wasn't the best piece of property or closing a great investment. It was the people that I helped develop, that I got to train new people in the field into hardworking and thoughtful real estate professionals. And that's what made me realize it wasn't ever the thrill of the deal that really excited me. It was seeing these young people grow and flourish under my watch. And that's when I realized my true calling. It's what helped me take that step into the unknown and finally pursue what I truly wanted to do with my life. That I wanted to help people reach every ounce of their potential. And it's that purpose that helped me step way out of my comfort zone and chart a new path. And so for you, what's your purpose? What do you want your life to be about? Because when you have the answer to that, that's what will enable you to start this for yourself too. To take that chance, step out into the unknown, and write your own story. But there's one last thing I've learned in my journey that you really need to know, which is you've got to choose adventure. Even as I stepped out into my life purpose, I still didn't have it all figured out. And that can feel, frankly, overwhelming. And yet, I am as happy and fulfilled and whole as I've ever been in my entire life. And that's because I continue to choose adventure. So let me explain with a story. So last year I was driving to a really important conference and I was going to be moderating my very first speaking panel. And so imagine speaking in front of a room of people that will be very important for your career. Pretty nerve-wracking, right? Well, I wasn't just speaking, I was moderating, which means I had a bunch of panelists that were with me. And so I wasn't just responsible for myself, I was responsible for making the other people on the panelists look good too, which was a whole nother layer of responsibility and something, frankly, I'd never done before. So as I'm driving, and it's about an hour and a half from the airport to where I was going, I had a lot of time to think and panic, and that's when it came to me. I always felt most alive when I was exploring new places with my wife. We didn't know where we were going, but we loved it. I loved exploring with her, wasting time together and exploring new cultures, places, and foods. And it wasn't about being efficient or optimal. We chose to enjoy the inefficiency, to savor the twists and the turns. And that was the light bulb moment for me. For this conference and this panel, this was going to be the last time that I would ever get to moderate a panel for the first time. So why not treat it like an adventure? Why not enjoy the twists and the turns? Even when you step into your purpose, it's easy to get caught up waiting to live life until you reach that goal or that goal or that goal. Don't make that mistake. As you step into your purpose, don't wait to start living. Choose adventure and be right where you are. Enjoy the journey, all of the twists and turns, the ebbs and flows. Choose adventure and enjoy it. So putting this all together, know that it's okay for your dreams to change. Don't get stuck in the end of history illusion. And remember the spotlight effect, and then forget it. And know that everything you want in your life is on the other side of worse first. So take that step. Take that step into your purpose, what you want your life to be about. And as you take that step, remember to choose adventure and enjoy the ride. Figuring out my life purpose was a turning point for me. But there was another huge realization that fundamentally changed how I spend my free time. And if you want to see a deep dive into that realization and how it can level up your life, then you need to watch this video here.